Last class, I think I stopped here, correct? So, okay, today we're going to talk about nerve cell. Okay, the nerve cell is long and thin in shape because you need to spread the nerve impulse effectively. So it must like a spider web, have lots of connection. So normally it comes out with something looks like a network. So it's long and thin in shape, and the function is to sending the nerve impulse. Okay, I'll jot this down. Okay. White blood cell. White blood cell is actually your defender in your blood. Okay. So it can change shape. The function is to destroy pathogen. Pathogen is actually the bacteria or viruses that can cause disease. Okay. All right. Jot this down. Okay. Huh? All right. Then epithelar cell. Epithelar cell are actually those cell that coated the surface of organ. Normally, the function is to act as a protection and also act as the place for your nutrient to pass through. Okay, so that's why it must be thin and flat so that the nutrient can pass through easily and it coat the surface of the organ like your digestive tract, all this. Okay, so jot this down. Okay, next, red blood cell. Red blood cell don't have nucleus because you want to maximize the all the organelles so that more hemoglobin can be put inside. So it's shaped as a biconcave disc. Biconcave means that you see, both side both side also like this. Okay, so that more surface area is open up, so that it can optimize the transportation of oxygen, so that more oxygen can be attached to it and then bring during the blood flow. Okay, huh? All right. Okay. Okay, then we have sperm cell. It has a long tail, okay, because it's used it to as a direction controller, okay, enable it to swim towards the ovum in the fallopian tube, and the head carries a set of chromosomes from the male. Chromosome is actually the DNA, DNA for male, and as you know, we have two sets of chromosome. One set from the mother side, another set is from the father side. Okay, all right, jot this down. Fallopian tube is actually the a tubing organelle, not really organelle tissue, which connected your uterus with the ovary. Your ovary get two sides, right, to generate the ovum, and then there's a piping. Something looks like piping there, and that one is the fallopian tube. Okay, huh? All right, then sieve tube element. This one is actually the part of the plant, starting from here. So sieve tube element are the long cylindrical tube that arrange from end to end. So it's used to transport the organic material from leaves to storage organs such as fruit. Wait, let me show you what's called sieve tube element. Sieve tube element looks something like this. Have you seen the what you call that, the buloh before? Looks like this. Okay, so how? Okay, it looks like this. Okay, you see one segment, and then in the middle is kosong. This is called sieve tube, something like the what you call your buloh lah. Okay, so the organic the organic material from leaf will drop from here, and then you will this filter this one later on we will learn this but this filter is to block the food so that some of the food can be passed through the companion cell to other branches. So that's why but this one still have the hole here so that the food can drop down like this, so that every single segment can pass the food to the other branches or root. Okay. All right, jot this down as well. Wait, let me check something. Okay. Done. All right, next, xylem. Xylem vessel. Xylem vessel is actually the what you call? It's actually the long continuous hollow tube which function is to transport the water and mineral salt from the root to the other part of the plant. Okay, so this one pretty easy. Okay, it's actually it's actually a hollow tube, and then how the water goes is through a what you call that capillary action. It means that have you seen the how to say it's like because the water has a characteristic which is a bit sticky, so you were able to stick to the wall of the xylem and then pull up like that. So you can consider this as your blood vessel of plant. Okay. All right. It's down as well. You give me the five. I need to go to my mom's house for a while. Done. All right, so let's continue. So palisade mesophyll cell. So palisade mesophyll cell is actually it's a layer of cell which has a long cylindrical shape with a lot of chlorophyll. Okay, so it consists of a long cylindrical cell arranged by vertically and close to each other. It contains high chlorophyll density, and the arrangement allows the maximum absorptions of sunlight for photosynthesis. Okay. Okay. All right. Next, spogy mesophyll cell. Okay. This layer you see here, all these are palisade mesophyll. Spogy mesophyll are this layer. You see there's lots of kosong. Okay, air space. Okay, why need air space? Because the air will flows in from here, and then there will be a what you call the gas exchange here, where carbon dioxide and oxygen will go out and in. Okay, through here. So the cells are loosely arranged with lots of air space in between, and the large airspace will allow the exchange of gas from the inside of the leaf to the palisade mesophyll cell. From here, pass to here, because this side, the palisade mesophyll cell is the site for photosynthesis. You see, this is the top part of the leaf. So all the sunlight are on the top side. So that's why the palisade mesophyll cell is when tight, it's close to each other. Okay. Now here, mesophyll cell also spogy mesophyll cell also contain chlorophyll, but a bit lesser. The density is lesser. No need so many. Okay, because it's on the inner layer already, so doesn't really necessary. So this side is more on the gaseous exchange. We call this. Okay, while this one, why so bad? Because this one is actually the what you call that, the tubo where the xylem and phloem pass through from the stem to the leaf, then in the center the xylem and phloem pass through, which will provide the food, the nutrients and minerals and water. That's why you see the center is very packed, but you see the side on the sporting mesophyll cell, a lot of air space here. Okay, all right, jot this down. Okay. Then gut cell. Gut cell is actually these two. These two are gut cell. It's actually normally you can find this at the back, the bottom of the leaves. Okay, this is the just how I said that there's the gas will allow us to go into the cell, right? So how it goes through this gut cell. So in the modified lower is a modified lower epidermis cell with a thicker cell wall in the inner side. Here, the cell wall is a bit thicker. Okay, so when the Waco expand, this one, the inner one, because it's stronger, so the expansion is a bit less. This one is more, so it will create something like a bulan sabit shape, both sides, from like this become like this. So that's why the inner must be thicker, so that it's not easy like to bend, not easy to bend. Okay, so it control the opening and closing of stoma. This is the stoma, the hole here. So the stoma is the opening that allows the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. All right, so jot this down. Okay, next, root hair cell. Root hair cell is actually the root, and then there has a very small one, projection like small one. This is the root hair cell, the small one. It has a long projection to add the surface area for the absorption of water and mineral salt. Okay, all right. So jot this down as well. Okay. Next. Okay, now let's see the cell organizations in human. So tissues are a group of cells that has the same structure and function and are arranged together to carry out a specific function. So in organism, normally we can classify into 4 different types, which is epithelial tissue, muscle tissue, nerve tissue, and connective tissue. Okay. Okay. So okay, they have the same structure. So it can be declassified, okay, into 4 different, like I said, the epithelial, muscle tissue, nerve tissue, and connective tissue. But no need to copy. So the first one, epithelial tissue. So epithelial tissue, okay, it covers the outer surface and hollow surface in the body, like your digestive. What the? Okay. So normally the epithelial tissue structure is adapted based on the function. So it means that it used to cover all the space that can be exposed, no matter exposed internally or exposed to external environment. Okay. So for example, your epithelial tissue on the skin protects against your infection. Okay, infection. Okay, your epithelial tissue, it connects against the. Oh, okay, it protects against the infections, injury, chemicals, and dehydration. It's like you are being covered, right? So the cover provides the protection against everything. Okay, so the epithelial tissue that coated the trachea have projections like hair, known as cilia. So this one is the one in your trachea. Trachea is your main air tract. Okay, we have a hair inside your trachea because trachea they need the hair to filter out the dust. Okay. Okay. All right. So these are the epithelial tissue that cover the surface of the mouth. All right, and also your esophagus. Okay. Now the one they also cover your lung, your body cavity. Body cavity are those internal space that where your other organ inside. All right. All right, and also it also covered for your trachea and bronchus. Bronchus are actually the structure inside here. Okay, it also cover the gland, all this. So anything that divide, normally all these organ or tissue, they will need to divide themselves from the environment, right? So they will, of course, they will have epithelial tissue. So it's the biggest tissue structure in human. Okay, cover all small intestines, all this. So now let's see muscle tissue. So there are three types of muscle tissue. We have smooth muscle, which is in the digestive tract, blood vessel, urinary tract, and reproductive tract. These smooth muscle normally are those muscles that will contract automatically. We cannot control the motion. Okay, like the digestive tract. After you eat, can you control? Start that here, cannot. All right, it automatically will press. So this press, rhythmic press, is due to the contraction and extension of the smooth muscle. Okay, the only thing we can control is skeletal muscle in your leg and hand. Even your cardiac muscle, you cannot control as well. Can you control your heart so that it can stop? Cannot, right? So that's why cardiac and smooth muscle cannot be controlled. So the motion involves the contraction and relaxation of muscle tissue. Okay, all right, jot this down. Okay, all right. So the smooth muscle, okay, enables the involuntary action. Involuntary means that the action that you do it unconsciously, you cannot control, like the peristalsis along the digestive tracts. Okay, the skeletal muscle is involved in the control movement, like it used to contract and relax to just. Oh yeah, you better jot this down first for the smooth muscle one. Okay. Okay. So then skeletal muscle is involved in control movement, means that voluntary action we can control. Okay, we do it consciously. So the skeletal muscle will contract and relax to generate movement in bones and limbs. Okay, all right, jot down this one. Okay, then for cardiac muscle, it builds the wall of the heart, means that the outer layer of heart that contract to pump the blood to the whole body. So the cardiac muscle contraction is involuntary, we cannot control as well. So that's why you see, compared to all these, is a bit more thinner. This one also thinner, but this one it will be very thick. Why? Because it needs to be stronger. Because the pumping of heart is automatically, means that it doesn't stop. So it needs to be thicker so that it can sustain the continuous pumping action. Okay, all right, jot this down. Okay, all right, then for nerve tissue, these are like the nerve tissue, lots of connection. There are many nerve tissue here. So the nerve tissue is made up of neuron, or we call nerve cell. So each neuron consists of a cell body. Cell body is the black dot here. Okay. No, this is actually the cell body, the tengah one here. Okay, and the nerve fiber called dendrite and axon. The head is axon, the tail, all these are dendrite. Okay, so the nerve tissue can detect stimuli and then send the information in form of electrical signal. We call it as nerve impulse to the muscles or gland. And the nerve tissue can regulate and control the body activity. It's like your wire in your body. It's like a wire in your computer. So you have to send anything, you need electric signal. Electric signal pass through wire. So the nerve tissue is the wire. Okay? Hannah? All right, jot this down as well. Okay. All right. So now, next, connective tissue. Connective tissue normally is the tissue that link between the organ. Okay. It consists of various type of tissue and fiber, and is distributed all over your body and has many functions. The main function here is to link the organs. It's like your loose connective tissue. It's like what, after your skin, before your skin, in between your skin and muscle, there will be lots of things right in the middle. That one is your connective tissue. It's like to hold organ and organ together. Okay, so jot this down first. Yeah, the main function is that it's not just like that. It also provides the site, place so that the biochemical reaction can occur. Because some of the reaction cannot happen inside the cell. It has to be outside the cell. So he provides the place for them. Okay. Okay, next. So the first one, loose connective tissue. So if it links the epithelial tissue to the tissue below it and fix the organ in their position, that's why it's loose. Why loose? Because you cannot be too tight. Like your hand, when we press it, you see, you need to able to change. It must be elastic, correct? So that's why it must be loose. Because loose, then it's elastic. If it's tight, the moment you press, already putus. So that's why loose connective tissue normally it holds the organ and organ or tissue with tissue, but the hold is not that tight. It can be a bit elastic. So normally useful for those between muscle and epithelial. So that's why loose connective tissue normally involves epithelial tissue. Okay, all right. All right, next, fibrous connective tissue. Normally, this one those that form a strong connective tissue, like tendon, your ligament, which connected the bone to bone or muscle to bone. Tendon is, you know what's tendon? When you eat the drumstick, there's one thing very hard, one white color that bind to the bone with the meat. You know, that one is tendon. Tendon is the connective tissue that holds the muscle tissue with the bone. So normally they cannot be elastic, but it must be strong. So that's why it must be fibrous, because fibrous can sustain high impact. Okay, so there forms the tendon and ligament. And tendon connects bone and muscle, ligament connects bone to bone. That's why they must be strong. Okay, because the main function here is not just provide support, but also hold it. Okay, all right, jot this down. Nana. All right, next, blood tissue. So blood is also a part of the, sorry, we have a loose and this one, okay, this one, okay. So blood tissue it plays a functional role in regulation, protection, and transportation. So how is it a functional role? Functional role means that it doesn't involve directly, but it support. Okay, for example, for regulation, it brings hormone. Blood brings hormone. Protection, it brings a white blood cell which can fight against the pathogen. For transportation, it brings the nutrients. See, so does it direct involve in transportation, protection, and regulation? No, but it's the essential part to so that it can fulfill the function. That's why we say it's functional role. Okay, all right, jot this down. Okay. Next, bone. Bone is also tissue actually. So bone will form the body frame and protects the internal organ. It also provides structural support. Okay, you can also write this one. Structural. It provides structural support. Okay, structural support means that it helps to maintain the shape of our body. Okay, let's say if your bone that is not solid, okay, let's say when you try to stand up, then your body might going down like that. Okay, so this is why. So the bone is protection and support. Okay, so note this down. Mm. Okay, so adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is also the just now the bone, all these are connective tissue. So it's also it's a fat actually. Adipose tissue are the fat structure. So it's the connective tissue that keep fat under the skin, dermis, and the surface of all main organ. So these are the fat, and this one are the connective tissue. It's like a net that traps the fat inside. Okay. Why? Because your body fat is actually like the shape of fat makes it very fluffy. Fluffy, you understand? So like when the fat is going there, without the net to spread it out, it might connect it within the some space on it. So your hand like the fat is here, so this one suddenly this big. So they need the adipose tissue to spread out so that you see the structure can be connected all together. It's like a net to net all this together and then make it flat. Okay, all right. So jot this down as well. Okay. Then cartilage. Cartilage are actually when you eat the drumstick as well, the end of the bone, there's one white color cover the tip, right? That is the cartilage. It's actually to close up the bone tip to prevent the bone from wearing out. Because normally the bone are connected like this. So the movement will actually create friction. So this is to make sure that the bone doesn't get injured. So they need the cover for that. Okay? All right. Okay. Next. Okay. Then next, let's see the plant tissue. Okay. So plant tissue are actually wait. Okay, for plant tissue, it can be divided into meristem tissue and permanent tissue. While meristem tissue make up of apical meristem and lateral meristem. Apical meristem are those meristem cells that helps to grow vertically, while lateral is to make it the stem bigger and bigger. Okay, never mind. We will learn this on Form 5 actually. This one you just need to know only. For permanent tissue, we have dermal, ground, and vascular. Vascular, of course, xylem and phloem. Ground tissue, we have parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma tissue. All right, so jot this. At least you need to know. Jot this down first. Okay. All right. So let's see the next one. The first one, parenchyma tissue. The function is to store starch, protein, and water. So they can also carry out photosynthesis. That's why you see, there are a lot of you see between there are a lot of what you call that, the wako there. The wako is big for this one because the main function is storage. Right? Okay. All right. Jot this down. Hmm? Okay. Next, parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma tissue normally comes out with a very thicker cell wall because he need to provide the support for young or non-woody stem. For the non-woody stem means that the green stem, green without wood wood without wood type the green stem like the sayo all this is easy to bend. So that's why column-sema tissue comes out with a thicker cell wall. So this thicker cell wall will provide the support to the stem. Means that it provides to young and non-woody stem, which is the herbaceous plant. Okay. All right. Note this down. Okay. Next, scalene schema tissue. It functions in providing support and mechanical strength to all major part of the plant. Okay, so this one, scalene schema tissue, normally they were connected at the how to say, at some of the part to provide the support. Where scalene schema tissue, it has a much more stronger structure. Okay, much more stronger structure. It's like how to say, stronger structure means that the cell wall is thick as well. Cell wall is thick as well, and then it has a bigger vacuole. Because when the vacuole is fully filled, it will create a water pressure, inner pressure that will mix the how to say the whole tissue become very tightly packed. When tightly packed, outside fix it, it's like the balloon and give a lot of water until it cannot press anymore, and the balloon won't burst at first. So this is how. Okay. Okay. Next. So let's see vascular tissue. All right, for vascular tissue, it makes up of xylem and phloem. And xylem tissue, it functions in transporting the water and wait. So the function of xylem is to transporting the water and mineral salt, okay, from the root to other part of the plant. So it has ligninous xylem tissue wall. It provides support and mechanical strength to the plant. Ligneous is like, have you seen the gum castle before? The yellow color, a bit brown color, the gum. After it become, when I put a titik, a big titik in part lah, after it start to dry, it will become very hard, right? That one is actually lignin. The gum castle is actually made out of lignin. It's like a glue. It's like a gum, okay, coming out from the plant. The one we call lignin. You can imagine that one. Okay. If you want to see the real thing, it actually looks the same. It's just that lignin. Okay, lignin. It actually looks the same. Let me show and see whether we have the. So see the lignin, this one is the before after they dry up. Okay, but if you comes out with the water, it will look something like this after you dry out. Looks like your gum castle actually. Okay, your gum castle actually have some of major components that one. Okay, then for your phloem, the function is to transport organic matter, which is the food lah, normally sucrose, from leaves to all part of the plant. So these are their function. All xylem, yes. Okay, xylem, yes. That's why it has lignin. Lignin is how to say, is waterproof, correct? So that's why it's a bit waterproof, not all, because the cover that it will cover part of the cell wall, so that the water comes in, the pressure is there, but your xylem won't burst. Is to create the mechanism, and then somehow the main thing here is to protect the xylem from burst. But because lignin is hard, so it will create a support, mechanical support to the plant as well. But the main idea is to make sure that it doesn't burst. Provide support is the secondary function. Okay, all right. Vascular tissue, you don't need. Maybe you can just vascular tissue, then you jot down like this. No need to copy this one. Okay. Done, huh? All right, so let's see. So the density of certain, okay, the density of certain cell component and specialized cell function. Okay, sometimes different organ carry out different, we call the, what you call, different function. And some function might require abundance, or we say more certain organelle to function. For example, like your muscle cell, it needs, in order to move, we need what? In order to support our movement, we need energy. So energy made up of from mitochondria. So that's why muscle cell normally has lots of mitochondria compared to other cell. This is what he's trying to say here. Okay, so since the function performed by the cell are different, some cell has a higher density of certain cell component. Okay, and the density of the cell component is actually related to the specific function of the cell, like I said. So the first one, mitochondria, sperm cell, muscle cell, and also your plant meristem cell. Why meristem cell is need a lot of mitochondria? Because you need to keep divide. Division require energy. Okay, so for sperm cell, it requires a lot of energy to swim towards the uterus and fallopian tube to fertilize the secondary oocyte, which is your ovum. Muscle cell, it requires a lot of energy to contract and relax to enable movement and fight. Flight or fight? Flight, I think. Okay, like the, what you call, birds, all this. Plant meristem cell, it requires a lot of energy to carry out active cell division process to produce a new cell. Then parasite mesophyll and spogy mesophyll need chloroplast so that they can absorb more sunlight to carry out photosynthesis. And then rough endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, they are important for your synthesis of protein. So pancreatic cell and goblet cell in the intestinal epithelium and respiratory tract. These two need to release hormone and enzyme. Hormone and enzyme are protein. So they need the Golgi apparatus and rough endoplasmic reticulum to modify the protein. You can understand? These two function, these two organelle is used to modify protein. Okay, so those need to release the, like your gastric juice, all this, right? They have enzyme and hormone. Everything inside our body are protein. So that's why they have more of these two. So it increases the synthesis and secretion of digestive enzymes and also produce the mucus for global cell. Mucus is to protect, it's like your, what you call mucus, or like your nose when you are get infected, like you are getting fever, then you have a wet nose here, right? That one is mucus. It's like a layer of protection. Like for epithelial and respiratory tract, they have a layer so that when the pathogen comes in, the mucus is sticky, will stick it, and then you will feel like nosy. Your nose will feel like a bit wet, and then you get sesame so that the mucus can come out. Like that. Can you understand? So this is what he's trying to say here. Okay. This one you doesn't need to copy down, but you need to maybe label in your book so that later on this one might comes up. Might only, not really a very important one. Okay. Okay. All right. Next, today we got a homework where I would like you to do. Okay, I would like you to do this. Okay, which is your formative practice 2.3. Okay. Okay, make this your homework. Okay. So you can make this one is actually from your textbook, formative 2.3. You try to check. I think page, I forget already. Which page? Your textbook page, yeah, 27. Okay. So try to do the questions. Okay. And then we shall meet each other on next class. Okay. Because I think I don't know, your father are already outside. I think there's a motorcycle outside. Okay. So you're allowed to dismiss. Bye bye.